coming on here this morning. Where are you calling from?
Well, I'm in Uruguay, South America.
Oh, you're in South America. Where in South America?
Uruguay. It's a very small country next to
beautiful.
Brazil and Argentina.
I love Uruguay. My wife is Venezuelan, so
really,
yes.
Amazing. So you have Spanish in your family?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yeah.
Nice.
Well, me and my wife can't really go to Venezuela right now, the way things are there. But
I know.
But we've actually talked about Uruguay possibly as a place for retirement, looking at spending time between South America and North America, where we are now. So
a lot of people comes to Uruguay for retirement, like Punta del Este, and all those places are amazing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I want to spend this time wisely because this is about you. So I love the connection here. So tell me a little bit about, I've gotten a little chance to know where you are, where you live. Talk about what is what really drove you to get into the business that you're in terms of your values, what you're doing. I've read your pitch idea, but get a little bit, expand on that and what you're looking for, and we'll go from there. And of course, we only have about 10 minutes, but we could always take things offline, which I'm doing with people to gather some more information later so we could spend more time. There's only so much you could do in 10 minutes.
No worries. So I'm actually Brazilian. So I was born in Brazil.
Yep.
And then I moved here when I was around 12 years old with my mom.
Yeah.
And all my education and my background is in PR and communications, actually. So I had nothing to do at the beginning with the entrepreneurial world. But around, I think it was like 6 years ago, I have a daughter. I'm a single mom, and she's 12 years old now.
Yeah.
And 6 years ago, she came to me with a drawing, and she asked me to transform that drawing into something real. So at that time, I owned an advertising agency, and I was super stressed out with my clients and everything, and realizing that I was like, I don't know, spending a lot of time of my life trying to get a refrigerator to be sold instead of doing something meaningful in my life. So I started seeing ways to transform that drawing into something tangible for her. And I ended up creating a company that was called Te Dibujo, that transformed the drawings of the kids into stuffed animals that look just like their drawings.
Got it.
So with Te Dibujo, I spent 5 years trying to make that grow. I used to work with seamstresses that were like women either victims of domestic violence or single moms or under a really, really poor situation economics. So we trained them and they will sew us the plushies. Thanks to that, I got invited to participate in an Obama program that was called Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative. And I went to the US to be trained by Obama. And later on, thanks to the same endeavor, I ended up at Columbia University doing a master's degree in entrepreneurship that I just ended up last August. So
I'm about 1 hour from Columbia, so great university.
Yes, I love it. And it was like a dream come true because my entire life I dreamt to be able to study into a US university, and I never thought that I was going to be able to do that as a grown woman. So it was super inspiring. The reason why I do everything I do in my life, it's my daughter, for sure. Like, she inspires me on a daily basis. She's an amazing kid, and she keeps pushing me to become a better human and a better professional.
Great.
So the dibujo was very difficult to scale up because since each drawing was unique, you couldn't have like that many seamstresses creating those many drawings and everything, and it was pretty hard to work with that kind of population. Also, they were not, you couldn't count on them that much because they had, maybe their kids were in jail or the husband was beating at her and she wasn't able to show up to work. So it was very hard to make that endeavor grow. And I started to think I need to do something else because I'm not going to be able to keep growing this. Unfortunately, like I reached my top. And I was going through the books of my daughter from school one day with her, and I was like, there's no women at all in these books. Like it was everything about how men did history or made history or created like amazing things, but it was all men, 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 men.
Yeah, nothing about the like. I saw it like the Amelia Earhart, those types of women. Yeah.
Yeah. So I started investigating online resources available so I could give my daughter something to inspire her, to show to her. And I came up with a series of books that it's called Good Night Story for Rebel Girls, that they did a Kickstarter campaign and they were able to launch it. And in those books, they shared their stories with different artists illustrating the women's and everything. And I thought that was so inspiring. But again, I'm a person that I'm a true believer of two things. First of all, that women will rock the world soon, hopefully. And second of all, that when you need to learn something, you need to somehow live it. It's not the same like when you're reading something or you're teaching a class and you're just saying things, that when the kid is interacting with actually what's happening. So that was when Malala was born. And I started creating, like, this is Malala.
Yeah.
This is Frida Kahlo. And this is Amelia Earhart.
Nice.
And this one is Marie Curie.
Wow. Wow.
So
and what? So, now, did you? Those were made by you, or do you have something now? Somebody making those on your behalf?
No, these dolls were made in China.
They're made in China. Okay.
In order to be able to scale this business and not have the same situation that I had before, I was looking from scratch from a provider that will be able to give me like a lot of plushies into a fair price and cost. So I partnered with a friend of mine that he's a designer. He's an amazing designer. And I told him, like, I need to teach the story of these women to the kids in a way that they will relate to them and feel like connected. So we decided to create a kids version of each one of them. So all of our illustrations are these women, like we imagine them, how would they look like when they were kids? So a lot of them, we had pictures of them when they were kids, and we started drawing from there. Others, we just imagine how would they look like when they were kids. Like Marie Curie was a mix of everything and stuff like that. And after, well, the first designs and everything, I said, okay, this is awesome, but I need to give back to the community somehow because it's not fulfilling for me. Like, I'm not in this to make money and become a millionaire. I'm in this to actually make an impact in the world. I don't want to die without having tried to do something meaningful.
So yeah, now
my daughter.
You really want to really rate, you really want to, encourage women to take, initiative and really follow their hearts and their passions, and to know that there were women before them back in the day or up till now.
Totally.
That were very important and pivots in our history in many ways.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay, so great.
So what I did, I started thinking, okay, so I could maybe donate part of the revenues to make sure that these girls are able to get access to education, because nowadays there are like more than 60 million girls in the world that have no access to education whatsoever. And the majority of that is because they don't have the money or the country regulation to have the school and stuff like that. So what we did is we partnered with Malala Fund. So we have the support of Malala Fund already, and they gave us the right to use Malala's image in exchange to help Malala Fund help girls. So I didn't pay the license. We just trade like I will use your
Yep.
license, but I will go back to you with part of a revenue so the kids could, Malala can continue with her work. And with Frida Kahlo Foundation, we did something similar, but they are asking us to donate to a cancer foundation. That was something that they wanted to do. And we're still negotiating because Frida did ask me money for the license, and I don't have that money yet. So it's like, okay, so Frida, it's not available at the market. Like I created a website already, and we are pre-selling, and I sold already some of the plushies. Like I have 20 sales in total. Frida is not one of them. Like I don't show Frida in my regular basis. I just work with the ones that I have the license, okay? So I don't want to have issues with trademarks and stuff like that.
Got it.
And that's pretty much it.
No, that's great. I love the passion and the purpose is very, clearly I could feel it. So in terms of you're looking right now for a certain amount of money to raise to, do the, like in terms of raising money to make these and get these out.
I don't have an inventory today. So what is happening now is that I'm having a lot of meetings with, I had a meeting with Walgreens, then Falabella in Argentina and in Chile, then toy stores in Mexico. Like I have a lot of clients that are interested in buying them, but I don't have the inventory yet. I just have the samples.
Yeah. Well, because sometimes you're going to have so many made to do that. And then if you don't have all, you can't place them all. You don't want to be sitting on inventory.
Yeah.
From an investment standpoint, that could be a no-no. But that being said, there are a couple different angles here. I mean, so you're targeting, you're doing retail, but I mean, there could be other angles. So the people that are going to be, what would be the age group for girls that would be embraced? Would you say these would be, what would be the youngest to the highest age?
I would say they can start at 3-4 years old. That's when they're starting to read, because each one of them comes with a booklet that I work with a girl that used to work at Disney, and she wrote me the stories of them as if it was like once upon a time.
Yeah.
So,
because I could see maybe even at certain preschools and
totally,
schools where kids are visual, right? They identify and they learn from what they see, not what they've been necessarily told.
I have a teacher actually that bought me already.
Yeah.
For her class.
So that's the thing I'm thinking out loud, and sometimes there could be grants for that. Who knows? I mean, again, I'm not going. You got the investment side, and then you got grants. There could be another angle as well. Not that grants are always easy to get, but
I'm applying to all of them. No worries. I'm always following the grants.
That's good, and so no, that could be really good, and there could be certain avenues through nonprofits that you could work with. So there's a lot of different avenues here. So what I like to do is, I don't know a lot about dolls in itself. That's not my area, but I love your passion. I really do. And I love your purpose, why you're doing this. Your daughters, your driving force, you care about children. You want to really raise the awareness about women in history. I think that is so important. I speak at a lot of women's groups and organizations around the country. So I'm a big fan of women. A lot of guys would be like, you're a traitor, but no, I really am. I think women do make the world go around in many ways. And for every great man, there's always a great woman by his side. So
agreed.
My wife, I say that about my wife, because if it wasn't for my wife, a lot of the great things I do, a lot has to do with her support and her knowledge. So, so I'm a big fan of that. So what I'd like to do is if you could I'm going to give you my email address.
Sure.
If you could send some information about what we talked about, anything in a deck, anything in a plan. I'm going to just see over the next week as I go through a lot of the pitches, to see where I could, either from, either my company as investors or people I know or connections to nonprofits, grants, grant writers, whatever the case may be. I have access to a lot of people like that. I can at least make a referral at the very least. But
yeah, that would
but
be
I love
awesome.
that.
Like, I'm all alone with this, and I've bootstrapped it since the very beginning. Like, it's not easy, so anything.
No, I hear you. I hear you. So let me give you my email.
Sure.
It's Chris, CHRIS.
Yeah.
And then simply at my full name, Christopher Salem, SALEM, like Mary at the end, .com.
Perfect.
So you feel free to send it at your leisure. I'm going to be going through these over this week, then maybe setting up some times to get in touch. Since you're in Uruguay, we could always connect by Skype.
Sure.
That thing, or WhatsApp, whatever. We could always figure something out. And let me see at the very least what I could do to help here.
That would be amazing, Chris. I travel a lot, so that's like it.
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever area, feel free. Just let me know. I'll be happy to meet with you. I'm down in New York quite a bit. I'm only an hour outside the city.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Chris, for taking some time to talk to me.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.